Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear students, this is our first lecture for this semester. Your textbook is English Phonetics and Phonology by Peter Roach. Today's lecture is an introduction to the topic. So we need to first to identify the mechanism we use to realize and identify the speech sounds of a language. If you remember, we said that we normally use minimal pairs in identifying the phonemes of a language. And a minimal pair is to have a pair of two items or words, if you like, that are similar in everything, in all sounds, except in one sound. So we have only one sound that is different from in the two words, and this difference causes a difference in meaning. If a difference in pronunciation does not cause a difference in meaning, we cannot say that this is a minimal pair. The sounds of any language is normally divided into consonants and vowels. So I'll first offer you an example of identifying vowels. So if you look at this pair of words, the words are pet and pot. This word is transcribed like this, and pot is transcribed like this. You can see that these two words are similar in terms of the initial consonant and the last consonant in the two words, but the vowel is different. And this difference in vowel causes a difference in meaning, because pet is something and pot is something else. So we can conclude from this example that these two sounds are two distinct sounds. In terms of consonants, we have this example. We have the word tap and the word cap. These two words have the same vowel, which is a, and the same coda, that is the consonant after the vowel, which is b. The only difference we have here is in the consonant under the onset position, or the consonant that precedes the vowel. T in tap and k in cap. So the difference in these two words, I mean, when we change from t to k or k to t, we have a difference in meaning. So again, we can conclude that t and k are two different phonemes. Okay? When we say they are two different phonemes, t and k and o are two different vowels, it means that we can include them in the list of the English phonemes. Okay? We can include them or put them in the list. In terms of English, the pronunciation of English is not easy for foreign learners, especially if we talk about Arab learners of English, because in English there is always a consistent relationship between spelling and pronunciation in Arabic. So the same letters are pronounced in the same way, and the same letter results in the same sound all of the time. But in English, the situation is different. The relationship between spelling and pronunciation is often described as being inconsistent. That is, there is no consistency between the form of the word and its pronunciation. Sometimes we have words that, letters that are pronounced in different ways. If we take the letter C, for example, this C can be pronounced as se, as in the word, for example, city. Sometimes it's pronounced as ka, as in the word car. So we have the same letter, but we have different pronunciation each time. Another example is the letters EA. EA can be pronounced as a, as in head, as E, as in heat, and as, for example, R, as in heart. So the same letters may result in different sounds in different contexts, or in different words, if you like. So this is inconsistent. We cannot always say that, for example, whenever we have EA, the letters EA, we can pronounce them as E or A or A. Okay? Now, each sound is supposed to be represented by a symbol, and there is always a relationship between symbols and sounds. So, for example, for the sound K, we have a symbol. For the sound A, we have a symbol. And the process of writing phonemes in symbols is called transcription. That is to change the form, the spelling, or the orthographic form into transcription. It is to write in phonemes, okay, in symbols. One point to be mentioned here is that languages have different accents, and English is not an exception in this respect. We have different accents of English based on geographical variations, social variations, age variations, or if you like, generation variation, and education backgrounds variation. So some people have different accents because they belong to different places, or they belong to different classes, or they belong to different generations, or they belong to different educational backgrounds. That's why they have different accents. Now we need to differentiate between two terms, dialect and accent. Dialect and accent. When we say dialect, it means that we are concerned with variations, or language variations, if you like, in pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, word order, spelling, and everything. That is these are the elements that are covered or included under the word or the term dialect. But under the term accent, we only talk about language variations in pronunciation. Let's have these examples. In Arabic, for example, we have the word انظر ودحق وباوع وشوف. This is in Iraqi Arabic. These four words refer to the same meaning, but they are totally different. They are different vocabularies. So when we talk about such variation in Iraqi Arabic, we are talking about dialects. In a certain dialect, the word انظر, to mean look, is used. In a certain dialect, it is دحق. In another, it's باوع, شوف, etc. But when we take one of these words and we say we have دحق, دحج, دحج, these are three forms of the same word, and the difference is only in the pronunciation. It is the same word, but the difference is only in pronunciation. This is accentual difference. This is dealt with under the term accent. In English, for example, we have the words color and color in American. In British accent, it is like this, in this form. In American dialect, it's like this. This is a spelling difference. We deal with such difference under the dialect. So we say American and a British dialect. But when we talk about differences in pronunciation, like the pronunciation of the final ra, which is normally not realized in British English, but realized in American English, this is an accentual difference. Sister in British English, sister in American English. This is dealt with under accent, not dialect. Okay. Now, what about the accent we use here, or we use as a model to teach you? The accent we adopt here as a model is often called received pronunciation. Received pronunciation. However, or usually abbreviated as RP. However, this term is being old-fashioned and misleading. Why? Because the meaning of received here is the accepted or the approved accent or the approved pronunciation. This may imply that other accents of English are not approved. That's why scholars avoid using the term received. They prefer to use old-fashioned or misleading. There is another name for this accent, which is the BBC accent, because most announcers, reporters, and news readers on BBC use the British accent or the RP accent, if you like. But not all of them, by the way, not all of them. Another term or another name for this accent is the Queen's or the King's English, as it is the accent used at a certain point of time in the past by noble people and people of the high class. Now, the question is, do we recommend British English as the best choice for learners and other accents are inferior to it? No, definitely. We do not recommend or oblige learners or people to learn British accent or RP accent, aiming that it is superior to other accents. No, but it is often adopted for reasons. The first reason is that BBC or RP accent is usually chosen to be taught to foreign learners. That's why most foreign learners in different parts of the world usually target RP as the accent to be learned. Another reason is that it is the accent that has been most fully described. So we have lots and lots of books and papers and articles written about the system, whether the sound system or the grammatical system, morphological system of RP English, especially when we talk about pronunciation. There are lots of references and sources to get information from. The third reason is that RP or BBC accent is often used in most textbooks and dictionaries that are specialized in teaching pronunciation. That's why here we recommend BBC accent, but we do not oblige others. In non-institutional learning, anybody can choose any accent and learn it. But in institutions, especially in schools, universities, we need to choose a model. And the best model for teaching foreign learners is RP or BBC English. Thank you very much for listening.